Hell yeah. That is so loud. It ain't working, dog. It ain't working. Welcome back. To Am I the Asshole? Halloween edition. I believe our last one we actually did not. Hang on. I believe the last one we did not actually dress up for this.
No, we did not.
But here we are, kind of dressed up. So
we prepared
slightly.
Halloween.
This is so cool.
That is a cool mask.
Like, I think ever since I've owned this is the first time I've worn it.
Yeah, I was honestly like, I'm amazed it fit.
Barely. I did have to.
It looks so ridiculous on the side of your head, dude. Like if you look at like where your neck meets the mask, dude, it just looks like fucking one of the thumb creatures from Spy Kids put on Iron Man's mask.
Perfect. That's that's what I was going for. I was going for a thumb.
Yep. So what is it? Floops Fooglies, right?
I guess.
Pretty sure. It's crazy that this is the second time it's come up in at least our conversations. Not, of course, on record, but that came up in a Discord call with people in our Discord. By the way, join the Discord.
Yes, link in the description. You know what else is in the description?
A great link. Probably the best link.
Into the AM!
Into the AM!
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard in recent episodes, you hear it now. We are, in fact, here at the Lousy Show, partnered with Into the AM. And to allow you all to partake in fantastic goodies, like getting shirts like this.
Ooh.
Or hoodies like that.
Ooh.
Ooh. All you got to do is go to the link in the description or the pinned comment, intotheam.com/lousy. Again, intotheam.com/lousy. And as soon as you go to that link, you'll be able to get an instant 10% off if you use our code lousy also at checkout. Now, I did learn something recently, and this is a PSA to everybody out there. If you have honey, like I do, where you want to get, great discounts, make sure that if you have honey and you do use our link, to just use our code at checkout, which is lousy.
Yep.
Very easy. LOUSY. Lousy.
And don't let it try to find a coupon for you. I mean, if it finds a better one, fair game, but like I doubt they will, so.
Yeah. But in order to help us, it does matter using our codes. We greatly appreciate all of you who have. We have some actually major news coming up that you all want to hear in regards to Into the AM. And I'll go ahead and tell you the date and looking at the calendar real quick. I would definitely tune into the podcast on the 12th, which is just a week and a half away. We got some massive news coming out, so stay tuned for that.
Watch the episode.
I would, yes. But again, if you want to get some dope shirts, hats, hoodies, pants, shorts, underwear, beanies, bombers, nice button-down shirts, polos, tank tops, graphic tees, basic tees, go to the link.
Yep.
Where, Sam?
intotheam.com/lousy and use code lousy at checkout, not honey.
That's right. Guaranteed 10%. Oh yeah, and the 10% is stackable. So if, say, something major comes out soon where it saves you a boatload of money on some merchandise and you want to save just a little bit more on top,
really gets the head spinning. Anyway, moving on.
intotheam.com/lousy.
Yep,
Moving on.
Thank you, Into the AM, for partnering with us for some reason.
All right, Sam. This is it. Granted, it is coming out 2 days after Halloween.
Yeah, it's close enough. Still spooky season.
Because we're a lousy show and we did not prepare our dates correctly. Today is our, I guess you could say, annual Halloween episode.
Yep, now it is.
Yep,
now that we're doing
and
two of them. So.
Yes, this is our second. Yep. So you all get to have some fun with some Halloween Am I the Assholery. We hope you all enjoyed your Halloween, whether you went out to parties, whether you took your kids out trick-or-treating, whatever you may be doing. We hope you enjoyed it. But Sam,
yeah,
we have something to do.
Yeah, we do.
I'm going to fully admit, before we even get into the meat and potatoes of this, I got to take this off. I can't hear you at all. So you talk to them for a moment while I surgically remove this off my head.
Yeah, watching him put it on was impressive. I'm sure taking it off will be equally as impressive. But yes, we are doing Halloween Part 2. We had 4 great stories. If you haven't yet, go back and watch that previous episode because it was a blast, and that's why we decided to do it again. And so yeah, we are doing that here momentarily. I don't know what to talk about right now. He threw me off guard. I'm not the one that talks. He does. Welcome back.
Imagine being on a podcast not knowing how to talk.
And you heard the whole thing without the headphones. It's crazy.
I heard the last part. Yeah. I heard the last part of you saying that. No, it was trying to like muffle through these. Yeah. Like this. But this is a dope helmet. This is the Black Series helmet for anybody out there, whoever you want to get one.
Yep.
Hashtag not an ad.
God, that'd be so sick if it was though.
Bro, imagine.
Hasbro.
Imagine.
Hit us up. Right, Hasbro?
I believe.
I think Hasbro does Black Series now. But. Anywho.
I'm just going to opt in.
That's arguably way cooler.
Shall we,
shall we rock, paper, scissors? With this? Yeah, that needs to happen. If it doesn't, then if you don't win, then those all right. Those crystals aren't real.
Look, everybody. This is rock. Okay. Yep. Paper.
Yeah.
Scissors. Okay. Same thing. That way he can't be like, you did something wrong. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
It's very loud.
It is, yeah.
All right. I'm about to blast your ass.
Pause. I hope so. Pause.
Count it down.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. He cheated. He had the reality stone, the time stone. He could have cheated so many different ways.
I saw 14 million different possibilities.
And there was 69 that would work.
Yes. Out of 420 possibilities, 69 were complete. Yeah, this is probably one of the coolest things I own. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. Yeah, you have a lot of cool toys, but that's definitely one of them. Even though you used it to cheat at rock paper scissors, but it's fine. Go ahead, read the first one.
Hang on. There we go.
Little shout out to the old studio.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive in to today's Halloween episode. Number 1. Am I the asshole for allowing my daughter to exclude the class clown from a Halloween party, even though most of the girls were invited? My daughter, Emma, 11 female, is planning her Halloween party. We've invited most of the girls in her class since they're all pretty close, and she's known many of them for years. However, there's one girl in her class, let's call her Lily, who's known as the class clown. She is new this year. My daughter greatly dislikes her and made it clear she doesn't wish to invite her. I am fine with that. She's in middle school and can pick the guest list. Lily's mom found out about the party, I'm guessing from another parent, and reached out to me asking why her daughter wasn't invited when most of the girls from their class were. She asked me to reconsider and invite Lily to avoid making her feel left out, especially since they are new to the school. I told her that my daughter picked the guest list and she isn't close to your daughter. She reiterated that she should be invited since most of the girls in the class are. I told her no again. She asked why, and I told her the truth, that my daughter doesn't like your daughter and finds her annoying. She said this is the class clown and disruptive, and my daughter doesn't wish to deal with her outside of school. The mom called me an asshole, and other parents are contacting me, some saying I am in the right and others saying it to invite her. So outside opinion, again, to reiterate the title, am I the asshole for allowing my daughter to exclude the class clown from a Halloween party, even though most of the girls were invited?
Interesting. Yeah, this is probably got a couple schools of thought here. One, yeah, it's her party. She can invite who she wants. While on the other side, they might say, like, oh, you should, support inclusion and, trying to help everybody out. But I mean, if you don't like somebody, like you wouldn't invite the bully just because they were part of the class. It's kind of the same school of thought there. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Because I'm not a parent, so I can't really give the parent perspective,
Yeah, I will say this from the parent perspective. The thing that stands out to me the most here is this is W parenting for your daughter or for your kid in general. Because especially when they start getting to that age where they're making decisions, hell, my oldest is 5. He'll be 6 soon. And I'm allowing him to make certain decisions, not life impacting decisions, but his birthday's coming up. And I'm like, hey, who do you want to invite? And he goes, oh yeah, I'd like to invite this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Cool. Give me it. Like, if you can, like, I'll contact your teacher and see if it's okay. If she can send out an email to the parents, whatever. That way we can get a guest list together and I'll send invites with you and you give them to your friends. Being able to enable your child to make those decisions is very, very important for development. It shows that they don't have to abide by some strict set of narrative rules that impact their literal every moment, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we're adults, so we understand that our decisions impact every single thing we do. We have the freedom of making these decisions. You have the freedom to make the decision to get up to go to work in the morning. You have the freedom to make the decision to, not fucking steamroll somebody off with road rage, like, you make these decisions every single day when you don't even realize it. Being able to do this is empowering your child to do the exact same thing on a much smaller scale. And if your daughter doesn't like someone, to your point, you're not going to invite the school bully just because they're the only person left out. Like, your daughter doesn't like them. So at the end of the day, like, if my son came to me and was like, hey dad, I don't want to invite XYZ person because they're mean to me, or they're I don't want to deal with them or whatever. I'm gonna be like, say less, that's your decision. I don't see OP being an asshole at all. This is not an asshole, not in any asshole territory. I think part of being a parent also includes standing your ground for your child's decision, because you as the parent have to answer for what they decide they're going to do as they're living under your roof and as they're growing up and you're teaching them as they grow up. This was a huge W for OP, because when that parent reached out, you didn't fold. You didn't take any low road. You were like, no, my daughter doesn't like your kid. Here's why. End of story. Sucks that your kid's the only one left out. But at the end of the day, like, if my kid were left out, I would probably go, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because if the parent comes to me and goes, hey, just being honest with you, my kid doesn't like your kid because your kid, is the class clown and is, the attention seeker, is trying to, like, always make things about them or what have you. I'm going to be like, that is a parenting problem that I need to address and get that taken care of for my kid.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, well, you should have been the rules for me. Like, no. So I think as a parent, massive W on letting your kid make those decisions and empowering them to make those decisions. As minute as they may be, it's still a very empowering scenario where they can learn as they grow. And, and B, you are 1000% in the right for stepping up to that parent, shutting it down. Who gives a fuck what the other parents say? If they don't want to come now, guess what? That's the beauty of an invite. You can say no. So, not the asshole.
True. Yeah. And I think, like, at the core of it, she didn't invite him or invite her. The parent reached out. You said no. Parent kept pressing, asked why. And so you just told the truth of why your daughter doesn't want to do it. And then The other parent called you an asshole for telling you the truth or telling them the truth, which, yeah, that doesn't track at all.
The truth hurts.
Yeah. Truth can hurt sometimes. So, yeah, it's not the asshole for sure. Based off the prompt for sure.
Well, everyone else in Reddit agrees.
Not the asshole.
Yep. So let's go to these comments.
Yeah, let's see. Our first one here, not the asshole. It's your daughter's party, and as you said, you can determine the guest list. I get the other mom not wanting her new to that school daughter feeling left out, but she's also got to understand that kids will pick their friends too, and nobody is under any obligation to be invited to a birthday party. This is just that other parent wanting to avoid having a tough conversation with their daughter.
Yep. That's exactly right. And I mean, honestly, very well said there.
Yep.
Couldn't agree more. As a parent, you have to step up and have that conversation. I mean, hell, you've seen me have many hard conversations with my son.
Yep.
Where it's like, I don't want to have that conversation with you. I really don't, but I have to. I signed on to do this, for all the adults out there who understand, like, when me and my wife did the horizontal tango and decided, hey, now's a great time for us to go and pop out a kid. I signed on, The dotted line had my John Hancock on it.
Yep.
And guess what? That comes with a large set of things you have to do. And part of that is having those difficult conversations where you're like, yeah, well, this is why they don't want you there. Let's work on that. It's not saying that your kid's bad.
Yeah.
But you have to be able, as a parent, you have to be able to redirect that energy. If your kid's a class clown, okay, are they a constructive class clown? Are they a destructive class clown? What are the tendencies they show? I mean, hell, I know in school, you and I, we were like, we were a tandem of like constructive and destructive.
Yep.
Like it was some days we would help rebuild the school. Other days we're like,
you all Pookie.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And but that's the thing is, like, you have, as a parent, you have to be able to take that mentality and that those tendencies and turn them and go, okay, sometimes you have to understand that, yeah, you can have fun, but you can't be trying to press to make yourself the center of attention. You can't be trying to press people to bend to what you want. Like, it's not all about you. It's not your world and we're living in it. It's everybody's here. So let's incorporate everybody. If you want to make a joke, like, bring your friends into the joke kind of thing or whatever. Like, being able to teach that is huge. So, and I know for everybody out there, they're like, you're adding context, not trying to, just giving a perspective of a parent who's like having to navigate that.
I also think it's perfectly fine to add context now that we have established the verdict, and it's not like we were clearly wrong like that one time. Like, this is everybody agrees is pretty open shut overall. So like at that point we're free to like add context and give life lessons and whatnot. So
I'm gonna go ahead and read the second comment, but there's another comment in that thread that I want to address.
Okay.
And I find it to be an interesting, I don't want to say statistic, but it is a mark that I think we do need to account for in certain circumstances. Not the asshole. Second comment here. Not the asshole. I'm saying this as someone who spent much of their school life as the weird outsider, thanks undiagnosed autism, and was often excluded from my peers' social things. Forcing a child to invite someone they don't want to sets the expectation that their feelings are less important. Very true. This kid might think she wants to be invited, but I reckon there's a high chance if she succeeded and got an invitation, she would not have a good time because no one would want to interact with her, especially your daughter. Valid.
That is true. Yeah.
And then there's like, if you notice through this thread, there's some that are, they all kind of directly address the autism side of things. And I think it's the second one down. It says, as a late diagnosed autistic person, I agree. Being left out as a kid was sad. Other kids being forced to invite me to a party, sleepover, whatever, and me then attending that event was straight up traumatic.
That's facts. Yeah.
One thing that I want to point out, and this is, I mean, I'm not trying to like white knight this at all. I'm not trying to even remotely like, put myself above anybody else, but shout out to an old friend. Unfortunately, he passed away from cancer a few years ago, and fucking sucks. Miss him all the time. But he was the weird kid at school.
Yeah.
And it took me addressing myself in my teenage years to recognize, like, hey, that person probably doesn't have any friends. And it came out to be that he became one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Like, he and I would ride home from school together all the time. Like, we lived in the same neighborhood and I didn't even know it. He had a car and he was like, dude, you want to ride home with me? I'm like, sure. And I would like put gas in his car. We would be cooking down the road, like grabbing some Hardee's milkshakes, bro, and like having a good time. Like, he was a genuine like homie. And I do want to address that sometimes it does take, as a parent, being able to teach your child, like, get to know everyone before you make that decision.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that pertains to this story.
No,
I think that these comments.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just think that these comments are valid.
Yeah.
And I do agree entirely. Like, there are times where, even I'm sure you can relate as well, we were probably both invited to something that we didn't necessarily like socialize with these individuals, or like, you know, maybe a situation where we weren't tight like that. And when you get to that event, you're like, why am I here?
Yeah.
You know? And so, like, I totally get that perspective as well, but also, you know, taking that extra step just as a PSA, small PSA, like teaching your kids to get to know everybody. And you don't know who those weird kids may become your best fucking friends. Like,
100%. Yeah. And I'll just add one little thing onto it, because we've been talking about this one for a minute, but
yeah,
you can have them not invited, then maybe, you know, say like, hey, you know, while you're at school, maybe try to get to know this person. Cause they might be weird and everything right now, but you're just getting to know them. You've known everybody else forever. So, you know, it's like, hey, maybe extend that olive branch, see what they're like. If you still don't like them, that's totally fine. You know, but you can oftentimes find an awesome friend. Yeah. Out of the weird one, you know? So,
exactly.
So
no, I agree entirely. And I think Reddit actually made sense here in the comments.
Yep.
I think this is well addressed. Yep. And let's move on.
Moving on to number 2. Am I the asshole for not letting my daughter go to a Halloween party? My husband, 34 male, and I, 34 female, have 6 kids. Goddamn. Y'all are busy. Our 2 oldest are our 15-year-old daughter, Autumn, and our 13-year-old son, Thatcher. Thatcher and Autumn are both at the age where they don't go trick-or-treating for Halloween anymore. Both of them have different parties they want to go to. Thatcher and his girlfriend want to go as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. My son plays baseball and watches all sports, including the NFL. His girlfriend is into Taylor Swift. Autumn and her boyfriend want to go as Marie and Pierre Curie. That's kind of dope, actually. The issue has been Autumn and her boyfriend saying mean things to Thatcher and his girlfriend about their costume. The biggest issue is that they've said that his girlfriend shouldn't be Taylor Swift because his girlfriend is black. We are white and live in a very white area. She's one of the few black kids in the district. Thatcher got into a massive argument with Autumn over this. We weren't home when this happened, but when Thatcher told us what happened, we spoke to both of them. Thatcher was justifiably really angry. He said that it didn't matter because anyone can be Taylor Swift for Halloween. Thatcher tries to learn about his girlfriend's struggles and culture. We talked to Autumn about this, and she at first dismissed it. We pushed her, and she wouldn't apologize until we had to threaten to take away her electronics. A few days later, she made a comment about how dumb the costume was and how they're only going as it because they're famous and how my son is just following trends. Autumn was talked to again, and she apologized. The last straw was yesterday. I had gotten a call from Autumn's science teacher that her and her boyfriend were complaining about Thatcher's costume and had made other kids uncomfortable. I apologized, and she said that Autumn and her boyfriend had said racist things before, and I asked why she didn't tell me. She told me she emailed me. After talking for a bit, we realized that the email in the school system was wrong, and I gave her my correct email, and she said she'd help me get it changed in the system. I talked to Autumn, and she said that her and her boyfriend just tell the truth in class. She's also admitted she wasn't sorry for what she said to Thatcher. I told her she wasn't allowed to go to the Halloween party, and she told me I was overreacting. I asked some of my friends for advice, and they said I was being too hard on her. My son, however, is really upset and says that knowing she's getting grounded for her behavior makes him more comfortable bringing his girlfriend over. He says he wouldn't want to live with us if we didn't punish her racism. Am I the asshole?
No.
That is a super fast, easy one. Like, easy no. I'm just, how are they so polar opposite? You know,
That's,
I mean, I
that's
know kids
clicks,
can be
dude.
very different, but holy shit.
That's some clicky mentality, bro.
Yeah, that they had to have learned that from somebody at school.
Yeah.
Like, because definitely
Easily.
parents are big dubs. Brother's a big dub. She's not so much.
No, and like that's deep rooted too. Like, you know, that shit's been around for a while. If she's just openly down to say that shit.
Yeah, that's generational.
Yeah. Like
so like she learned it from somebody.
She had to.
Yeah. I'm wondering what the boyfriend's background is.
I would real talk, if I were the parent here, and maybe this is me overreacting. If I were the parent here, oh no, you ain't seeing your boyfriend. Nah, you go learn real fast how bad racism actually is. Like, we locking you the fuck down.
Would you? Again, I don't have the parent perspective on this, so I'd like your opinion. Would you then, knowing all this, want to reach out to Autumn's boyfriend's parents to all have a sit down and be
absolutely,
like, hey, that ain't cool? And then at least then too, if they're like, well, yeah, Taylor Swift ain't black, then you're like, well, okay, maybe you shouldn't be dating him anymore. You know,
it's actually funny. I was just talking about something similar to this. Not like, actually, I was just talking about it last night. My oldest, where he goes to school, the neighborhood we live in, I mean, it's a very mixed culture area. And I mean, you have blacks, Hispanics, whites. Hell, I think you have some Asian families live in the area. Like, it's a very mixed, diverse culture in the area.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that we got out of the area we were in before my son started school, because when we lived in Texas and now living here, both places, he has gotten such a culturally diverse understanding that and I know this is going to sound shitty, please don't fucking crucify me in the comments, but he doesn't see anybody's skin color. He sees my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend. And that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't come home and, you know, and the first thing he's saying is, hey, like, you know, friend XYZ's, you know, doing like, whatever racism comment. Like, you can input anything you want into that statement. He comes home and he's like, hey, my friend and I were playing on the monkey bars. Cool. He literally daps up his friends at school. It's so dope. Like, he doesn't see that.
Yeah.
He's so young and impressionable right now. And it's great that he's learning that cultures matter. Everyone's backgrounds matter, that you don't like, there is like, the word racism does not even exist in his vocabulary.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
That's dope.
This shit right here. Oh, dude. I would be calling the boyfriend's parents personally. I would drive over and be like, here is the email threads.
Yeah.
Let's address this real quick. Got my kid with me. Let's go ahead and talk about it, because that's going to tell me one of two things. If this, and I'm again not trying to add context, if this is the parent's issue, that's going to make me learn really fast. Okay, child, we're not coming back over here anymore.
Yep.
You know, or is this something they're learning at school? Is this something that other kids are bringing in, influencing them with? It'll allow, as a parent, to open that dialogue with the other parents and learn for myself where I should and should not be putting my attention.
Yep.
So, and like I said, I'm, as a parent where my child doesn't see that, he incorporates everyone. He loves everyone. It makes me so happy knowing something like this I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have to have a second thought about it. And, you know, we move forward. So yeah, no, not the asshole at all here.
Definitely
Just to add my verdict in there, not the asshole. W parenting.
Yep.
Lock that child down and figure out the root of this and get that fucking weed dug out, because that shit can spread so fucking fast if it's not controlled.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not cool at all. And Reddit, they agree, of course. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
Yeah. Let's read some comments.
Yeah. First comment here is not the asshole. If Autumn is making racist comments in school and the teacher has noticed and reported it to you, you have to take a stand and make her realize this is unacceptable behavior. It seems harsh, but grounding her from the party may be what it takes to make her realize the seriousness of her unacceptable behavior. Good luck.
Yep.
Honestly, I agree, but the thing is, it's gonna, if nothing else, this is gonna show you how deep rooted it is.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like when you ground her from going to that party, her reaction could be, okay, I've learned my lesson. But what happens the next day?
Yep. Does she
do we
actually
go
learn that lesson?
Do we go back to our bad ways, or are we actually going to be like changing how we think here?
Yeah.
So
next one here is not the asshole. Your daughter is displaying concerning behavior and evidently has a history of doing so. You need to work on getting through to her so she doesn't carry that behavior into her adult life. I'd also recommend some therapy, someone to really dig in to find out why your kid thinks it's okay to say these things and help them understand how hurtful and wrong it can be. She may not be willing to open up to you, so a third party could be helpful. As a parent, you have a duty to raise a respectful, thoughtful, kind child. That means you have to take steps to understand why she's behaving as she is and change her mindset. If keeping her from going to her own Halloween event will accomplish that, then go for it. Yep.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cut and dry on that. Like,
there's got to be a lot of the same comment.
Yeah.
But
nah, W parenting.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Moving on.
All right. Numéro 3. Am I the asshole for insisting on a wedding on Halloween? Boy, do we have experience with this. I know this seems like an obvious answer, but hear me out because I'm having some serious doubts now. My fiance and I are trying to get married on Halloween of this year. Halloween is our favorite holiday and has been since we met and started dating 8 years ago in high school. For a few years, we talked about getting married and having a really elegant Gothic style wedding on Halloween, and we've been really excited to make that a reality finally. Here's where I may be the asshole. My parents were teenagers when I was born, and 10 years later, they both remarried and had my half siblings. And now I'm the eldest of 6, with the age range of my siblings being from 4 to 13. Wait, how did we get OP's actual? We didn't get OP's age. Okay,
yeah,
just making
I
sure.
Think I guess the siblings, like the oldest sibling's 13. And then the youngest one is 4. OP is very clearly older than that.
Well, so we're going to say probably in mid-20s because based on age range, 4 to 13, 10 years later, they both remarried and had kids. So we'll say at the minimum, it's 23.
Yeah, and they started dating in high school 8 years ago. So that's, you could do the math to figure out. But whatever.
Yeah.
We're at it.
At the same time, I just want to make sure I'm understanding like this age gap. Yeah. At the same time, my aunts and uncles also started having kids. So I'm more than a decade of age of all my cousins as well. And there are a lot of them. Okay, so we were right. Obviously, I want them all at the wedding. But as soon as all of them found out the date of the wedding, they all got really upset. I thought that if we made the reception more fun and have a candy bar and dancing and fun, maybe even allow people to change into costumes after the ceremony, we could have a great compromise. However, this hasn't been the case. My aunts, uncles, and parents want to go trick-or-treating with their kids and put it all in my siblings and cousins' heads that they wouldn't have their fun every year because I'm getting married that day. So now it doesn't even matter that I'm trying to accommodate because I'm taking away the experience of trick-or-treating and dressing up around the neighborhood. My fiance's family is older and is all for the Halloween wedding, so that's not an issue. But now I'm starting to feel bad because I feel like if we insist, our wedding day is going to be filled with disappointed family and nobody will have fun because they want to celebrate Halloween their way. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime event with the love of my life, and I want to share it with everyone we love. Would I be the asshole for insisting on this date? Edit. I want to clarify that I would not be upset if some people decided not to come at all so they can take their kids out for trick-or-treating. Edit 2. I am definitely deciding on letting the kids dress up for the reception, and this has seemed to make some of the family feel better. Thanks for all the advice and help. I'm getting worried that's I'm 2 for 2, but 3 might be.
Hang on, number 3. Number 3 is fine.
Edit 3. Some people seem to think I'm going to be one of those people who ruins every holiday after this with anniversaries. This isn't true. I want my own kids one day, and I have no intention of making Halloween about us every year. We're happy to celebrate anniversaries before or after the day, but it's the symbolism of our wedding day that matters.
I don't think OP's an asshole here. It's your wedding. You can do it how you want. It's kind of like the sunrise one that we had like a while ago. You know, it's your wedding. If they want to come, great. You've, based off the edits, accommodated. That's at least made some of the family feel better. So, I mean, you know, they could still dress up. They can still get a fuck ton of candy. They're just not ringing doorbells, you know? And it's one Halloween. Yeah, you're not going to be forcing everybody to come and visit you for your anniversary, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's the part that confuses me the most, is why any family would have thought that to be. Like, are there people that actually do that? They're like, hey, every single year, I want everybody to come back and we celebrate us again. Like, I don't know anybody that does that. I'm sure
I've never known anybody who does that.
I'm sure there's like a couple, but I'm just, that's not a normal thing. And so for any of them to kind of put that into the kids' heads is kind of fucked up. So
yeah,
I think this is pretty easy not the asshole for me.
Look, y'all have heard me talk about this on previous episodes about my Halloween wedding experience. And my reason for not going was far deeper than just trick-or-treating. Yeah. But let's be real here for a second. It's your wedding. It's a day y'all both love. Everyone else in the family can get fucked.
Yep.
I hate to say it that way, but it's true. When you go and get married and you leave the house, you leave the nest, right? If you haven't left the nest already fully, you're on your way. Something is in my fucking eye. I swear to God. Okay, we're good. When you leave the nest, if you haven't already left the nest, if you and your partner haven't already gotten a place together and you're living together before you get married, my wife and I were, we were already living together before we got married. Yeah. If you haven't done that yet, and even if you're just waiting until the day of to be like, yay, we got our place, let's move in together, everything's great, yay, marriage, that's great. You are leaving the nest. That means nobody has a fucking say in what you do except for you and your partner.
Nope.
Nobody. If you are a person where you live by the rules of your family, even after leaving the nest, good for you. But understand, not everybody else does. And you, OP, you are not the asshole for wanting to have your wedding on a day that means a lot to you. You're already trying to be accommodating to your entire fucking family. And you're already looking ahead to the future, recognizing like, yeah, no, I get Halloween's going to show up. Like, you may want to celebrate your anniversary. You and your husband are going to go ahead and celebrate your anniversary however you want. When you have kids, you're going to recognize, okay, yeah, let's take the kids out trick-or-treating. Let's celebrate our anniversary on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or we can have a whole day to go do whatever the fuck we want to do. Cool. Like, you recognize that. You're already proactively planning that in the future, which is awesome. Who gives a fuck what your family says?
Yep.
Send out the invites. Here's the beautiful part. You could still send an invite out to them. If they start talking shit, shut that shit down.
Yep.
Period. And if they don't show up, sucks to suck. They're missing out.
Yeah.
If one night of trick-or-treating
is going to precedes a wedding. Yeah. Fucked. That's so fucked. It's not the exact same situation, but we actually just had some friends that eloped without telling anybody. I'm talking like last week. And families are mad, like big mad about it. But they've been talking about just doing that. They're like, we're still going to have a ceremony. We just wanted to get fucking married, like on our own terms. So we're like, awesome. Like, it was my wife's best friend. So like, she was like, thanks for telling me, as a joke. And then once she heard that the family was mad about it, she's like, I'm not actually mad. I just wanted to poke at you, just like as a quick little thing. But yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Like, celebrate it how you want. It's your love, not theirs.
Yep.
So yeah, not the asshole.
Yeah. And all of Reddit agrees, not the asshole.
Yep.
We are 3 for 3 so far.
Yep.
Are we about to go Wendy's fo?
Not Wendy's, that's a damn show. Anyway. First comment here, not the asshole. Halloween weddings are a thing. You are not a weirdo for wanting this. There's so many compromises here. Letting everyone attend in costume, scheduling the wedding in the morning or the evening so they can do a quick afternoon or trick-or-treating, and then have an adult-only reception at night, letting the kids trick-or-treat around the reception tables, or you can say fuck it to the whole thing and say to everyone, we're having a Halloween wedding. These are the activities we will have for the kids to keep them entertained. We hope to see you there, and if not, have fun trick-or-treating. It's your wedding. Do what you want.
I don't even have to read the next comment.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, that's the perfect summarization of it all, and
Yep.
End of story. I want to make this one comment, and I'll never understand it. At what point will people begin to realize that you do not have control over someone else's life?
Unfortunately, there will always be people that think they do, especially if they have an authority, like parents, for example. We've had plenty of conversations about, the maniacal authority of parents in the past. So it's always going to happen. Unfortunately, it's something we'll have to deal with. But
well, you know what we don't have to deal with? That story anymore.
Yep.
To the last one.
To the last one. All right. Am I the asshole for ruining thousands of kids' Halloween and not feeling bad about it? Thousands.
That's a big number.
Sorry.
That's a big number.
That is a big number. Yep. I live in a large neighborhood, about 90 houses, and that's honestly not that many. The subdivisions have literally thousands of houses sometimes.
I guess. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking of my neighborhood.
90 is a smaller neighborhood compared to subdivisions. Anyway, I live in a large neighborhood, about 90 houses. We are what's considered the rich neighborhood, so our neighborhood has always been a hot spot for trick-or-treaters. We used to get about 700 to 1,000 kids a year. I've always loved getting trick-or-treaters because my kids are teens now and don't trick-or-treat anymore. But in the last 4 years, it's gotten ridiculous. There's thousands of kids and their parents flooding the street. People with hay in their rigs carrying kids around, trampling yards, littering candy wrappers everywhere. And the amount of small children walking around by themselves is appalling. People from the neighborhood, town of 30,000 people, take their kids to my neighborhood. I was annoyed, but I never really did anything about it till 2 years ago. My daughter tripped and broke her arm. We didn't think it was a break, but we wanted to go to the ER anyway to get it checked out. And there were so many people in our neighborhood, we couldn't get out. There were cars everywhere, lining the streets, parked in people's yards. It was horrible. We had to wait until everyone left at about 1 a.m. to go to the hospital. My daughter had to wait in pain for hours. At that point, I was done. I contacted the neighborhood community, and we managed to get some folks, cops mostly, to stand at the gate with a list and only let in certain people, folks that live here, family members, friends. If you wanted to get in, you had to be close to someone in the neighborhood. It was great. There were only about 300 kids in the neighborhood, and after that, there was barely any trash, and we're doing it again this year. I recently told my sister what I've done, and she got really angry. When we were kids, we had to trick-or-treat in other neighborhoods because we lived in a trailer park with no other kids. She told me I was a horrible person for ruining thousands of kids' Halloween, but honestly, I'm not too broken up about it. It was a hazard. If there was a fire or an emergency, no one would be able to get in to help. When I was a kid, there was never any cars lining the streets. The residences could get out if they wanted to, and it was never dangerous. I don't think I'm in the wrong, but I've always respected my sister's opinion. Am I the asshole? And some additional info here. There was no one in the cars. They were parked in the middle of the road and in yards so that there was no way for an ambulance to get through unless every driver in that neighborhood at the same time went to their cars at the same time and drove out. My daughter was 13 and in that awkward phase where she didn't want to bother anyone for help and said it didn't hurt that bad. Damn.
I think I can close this with one simple statement. If you take for granted the kindness of strangers, you will lose that kindness altogether.
Yep.
And all of those people who would go to that neighborhood, let's all not forget and let's all not act like we weren't like this. When you hear the candy hotspot, you know that the rich neighborhoods handed out them full-size, king-size candy bars. Your ass is on the way. But the moment you take that for granted, that will stop.
Yep.
Full stop. You need to be respectful, responsible, and kind when you go out to these neighborhoods. Period.
Yep.
I can tell you with an honest heart, I never once tried to cause trouble when we would go out trick-or-treating when I was younger. Like, it was, let's go get some candy. Cool. Let's get back to the house and eat some candy. You know, like, I'm not eating candy on the way. And if I am, that candy wrapper is going right back into my bucket or bag.
Yep.
This individual has every right to do this. Not that, and this doesn't seem like an HOA situation, but the fact that you were able to get together with the neighborhood community and actually like address it, and everyone, it sounds like everyone fucking agreed.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, yeah, no, I'm fucking done with this.
Like 700 to 1,000 kids is nuts. Even 300 is a lot. That's a stretch. And especially if people are just rolling on into the neighborhood and then doing their thing. Like, I mean, I had a coworker at my old job that he ran a haunted house every year out of his house, and it was really well done. And he did it every single year. And, you know, that entire neighborhood would get flooded with people, but he worked with the HOA and local cops to direct traffic and have people park where they needed to. So you could still get in and out. No problem. They shut down this one little section, but he lived in a cul-de-sac anyway. So like, you know, if somebody needed to get out there, move a barrier real quick and you're good. So like, it was not a big thing. So to have some kind of respect and dignity for that is not a bad thing. And I don't know why, like, I get why the sister said, you know, yeah, you know, we grew up poor, so we had to go to other neighborhoods. There's still other fucking neighborhoods, you know. It's that one neighborhood is not the end all be all. Yeah, it might be the nice one, but you can still get a shit ton of candy anywhere else. And like, that argument is a little silly to me, but I don't know. Yeah. It's easy not the asshole for me.
I completely agree with you. And I think OP's sister is absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you are seeing it from the lens of, oh, you're ruining these kids' Halloweens. But this individual, OP, is seeing it from the lens of, I had to sit in my car with my daughter who had a broken arm for hours before we could get out of our neighborhood because everyone was just parking their cars all haphazardly, walking through the streets, not letting anybody out. And there was no flow. There was all chaos. You don't like, the sister is speaking on it from the intent of like, oh, well, what about me? Not, oh yeah, like, yeah, you should be mad about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to go like, oh, what about me? What about the other people when you don't experience what that person went through? And I mean, if I were in an OP situation, I would have done the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I love being able to hand out candy. I love being able to take my kids out trick-or-treating, but I'm never going to disrespect someone's neighborhood. That's where they live. Yeah. That's where, you know, like, there are other families in that place. You're not just going, this isn't fucking Walmart where you're going like, ding, ding, candy. Like, no, it's, you're going to people's homes. You respect that area. And if you don't respect that area, guess what? It gets taken away. Period.
Yep.
So, not the asshole. And all of Reddit agrees.
Yeah.
Not the asshole.
Just not at Wendy's. Anyway.
Not at Wendy's. First comment here. Not the asshole. People still need to behave. The kids can still have fun. Parents just have to actually parent them now because someone else is watching. Parents should be parenting regardless.
I think, but a lot of parents don't want to for whatever reason. But
yeah, kind of crazy. It's a crazy thought, I know, but you know, when one person's pajamas enters of the goober and splashes creme and scrambles breakfast, the eggs, baby, you parent now.
So I'm gonna read the
Crazy.
next comment. Your neighborhood is not set up for carnival. If the number of people and vehicles obstruct essential services, then this is beyond ridiculous. And then that's beyond ridiculous. Excuse me. Also, let's not forget that the plague at the moment, it's COVID time, so crowds like that should be banned at this time. So yeah, well, ignore the plague part. That's over and done with. But
yeah, that's
not the asshole.
Yeah, not the asshole.
4 for 4.
4 for 4.
Oh,
Honestly, great work on getting the neighborhood together on that too. Like, that's huge.
Big dubs pretty much all around this whole one. Like a lot of W parents in this one.
Yes. Yes. Honestly, this is the most lighthearted one I think we've had in a long time.
Thank whatever being there is.
Like, we had a fucking stretch.
We've had a streak of bad ones. And it's funny, we even changed up the topic like last second because we were like, this one might be a little heavy.
Yeah.
So thanks, Halloween.
All right. It's time to get out of here. We hope you all have a happy Halloween or had a happy Halloween. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see y'all on Tuesday.
Bye.
Later.